Well, Eskom is also still working to restore parts, or rather power in parts of the Karoo affected by storms now over a week ago. Several towns were left in the dark after pylons were damaged. Let's get you an update on the situation there. The mayor for the Prince Albert Municipality, Linda Jaquet. Linda, am I pronouncing your name correctly? And welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you very much, Michelle. Yes, you're pronouncing it correctly, and thank you for the invitation.
All right, give us an update on what the situation is in your municipality.
Okay, thank you. Our municipality is composed of Prince Albert and then a town called Newzroom, which is on the N1 en route to Beaufort West, as well as the Prince Albert Station area, as well as large areas of farming that have been without electricity since Saturday evening, the 3rd of February. We are still without electricity, but in the two towns have been able to make sure that our water supply has not been affected. We were able to move a generator from Prince Albert to Newzroom to keep a borehole there running that provides most of the area around Newzroom. We are providing water via water tanker to an area outside Newzroom, as well as the Prince Albert Road Station, and to farmers as well. In Prince Albert, we have, fortunately, we had generators to run our boreholes. We've also had boreholes lent to us by other municipalities, and the Western Cape government has also helped us in providing us with a large generator, which is able. So thus far, we're busy. It had a few teething problems, but we will be able to keep a part of the CBD going because, of course, in our heat, it's 42 degrees today. With lack of power, food security is an issue. Most households have lost perishables. Yeah. So this is the dire situation.
And Newzroom, it sounds like, Linda, is getting the brunt of it. I mean, have any of these details changed? For example, the Newzroom clinic apparently didn't have a generator. I'm not sure whether you mentioned that has been sorted out, but there's also no working landline or internet, and residents are being urged to go there only for emergency. Has that since changed?
Yes. Yes, we meet every morning with the Disaster Management Center of the province at 8 o'clock. So the Department of Health has assured us that Newzroom clinic is up and running. They have communications. They're able to charge their equipment and their phones, so they are working. We are still, and then I think you probably knew that the hostel at the primary school had to close for a little while, but that is back open again.
And what about the SAPS?
I beg your pardon?
The SAPS. I understand that there was a need for a generator at the police station. There were no working landlines, no internet, no communication, no lights at night, and there were only 2 cell phones, that of the station commander and a phone in an emergency van. Hopefully that's changed. I mean, that's a situation that's untenable.
Yeah. No, the station commander, we were in conversation this morning with the cluster commander for the Central Karoo, and they are addressing that problem. But it has been a real worry for SAPS at Newzroom because they are quite vulnerable.
Right, right. So you're saying that as it stands, SAPS Newzroom has no working landlines, internet, and no lights at night?
That was the situation at 8 o'clock this morning. I haven't had an update yet today, but we were assured that the cluster commander and the provincial office of SAPS was dealing with that as a matter of urgency. Yes.
I imagine, that residents of Newzroom, particularly insofar as the police station and clinic issues are concerned, feel very, very vulnerable this morning, Linda, and hopefully no one who is opportunistic is listening to this interview and the details around the SAPS.
Yeah, it's a real issue. So I hope by now, and I will find out after this interview, that at least a generator has been provided to SAPS Newzroom to ensure that the lights are on at least, and that they can communicate with the world. They have been able to by cell phone, which they've been able to charge. There's a large ambulance station at Newzroom, fortunately, which has electricity, and I know that the clinic, for example, has made use of their facilities. But when it comes to the police, the cluster commander of the Central Karoo has assured us, as has the provincial office, that they are attending to this very, very urgently. So
sure.
I will find out now after the interview.
Yeah. I mean, to know that there is no number to call if indeed I do have an emergency that should involve the police is just a situation that is untenable. What kind of timelines are we looking at generally for Prince Albert and getting all of these issues sorted out, Linda, especially as you say, it's 42 degrees where you are today?
Eskom has said that the 15th of February we should have power again. I think they're working, from what I understand, from the briefings we get, they're working to try and get it up sooner, but the 15th of February is the deadline they have set themselves. And by this morning they had erected 70% of the poles that needed, and they had already started stringing the lines at the area where affected between Langsburg and Toes River.
Right. Are you hearing any reports from residents in Prince Albert Municipality of, outside of losing perishable foods, how this has impacted them?
I think in every way. You know, many things we just take for granted these days. The cell phone networks were down for several days. We now have a charging station at our Tucson Center. For example, the post office hasn't had a generator, so grants couldn't be paid. Our bank has had to adapt its working hours, but luckily we're all working together, and that's what I must say is that everyone, this is a team effort. The community, the public, private sector, the provincial government, NGOs, everyone is working together to try and just help each other and get the situation to alleviate the hardship of the situation, particularly on people who are less fortunate than a lot of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's affected everyone's lives, but those who don't have borne the brunt, are bearing the brunt of this crisis. As
usual, it is the poorest in our country that continue to bear the brunt of these multiple crises that strike us at the same time. I must say, Linda, the 15th of February, which is Thursday, seems like an awfully long time away, given just the extent of the challenges. Hopefully you can beat your own deadline.
I hope Eskom can beat its own deadline, Michelle, and that we can return to normal. But in the meantime, we are doing our very, very best for the communities within our municipal area. We've had donations of water, donations of food. We're doing our very best, and we have people offering services, and we're pulling together. And as they say in the Karoo, ons druk deur.